Hello, how are you guys doing? Hey, Auntie CK, watching from Cameroon. Hello, Julia. Hello, Mzansi. How are you guys doing? Hi, Charlie. Hello, colleague. Hello, Mzansi. Peggy. Hi. Hey, Darren. Hey, Lerato. You know what, guys? Today I'm in shock for starters. Let's start there. I think I'm dealing you know that relationship that you have with that abusive boyfriend. I think all of us, that's where we are, because wow, the relationship that we have with the Senzo Meyiwa case and the Judge Rata's courtroom. Well, yabona, today it was the 1,000 years that we will spend in heaven. Today is that 1,000 years that the greatest will spend in heaven. Maybe I won't even be there, but I want to be there if it happens. But today, I, I, to watch corruption esenzeka live. Yo, 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 yo. Corruption. This after I thought the first 15 minutes of the court case this morning was worse. I thought it was worse because Ujudge Ratanje was just something else on unto Umnisi, and Umnisi handled that with grace. He handled it with grace, and I was happy with how he handled it. Then Umnisi started with his cross-examination. Few things that came up. What came up in the morning? Guys, the way I have issues with how, you know what, at this point the case is dead, guys, and there is nothing. No matter what Baloyi can try, there is absolutely nothing he can do to flog the dead horse. He can try to flog. Now I went to Tabekonyane High School. I'm like, it doesn't matter what he does, but he will never be able to flog the horse to come alive. It's dead, guys. It is dead. What is those things that you better, best, worst, ne? Good. Oh no, eating good, better, best. Yes, yay. The things that we are dealing with here. No, guys, no. There's no way that we are supposed to accept things like that. Like, I know we watch this case religiously and we see things that are happening there. However, we will always be shocked. We will always be shocked at bad behavior. When you are dealing with something and you know it happens in this community, just because it happens in this community doesn't mean you are going to get used to it. It's a bad thing. It is a bad thing. So we are going to get shocked. Every time it happens, it's going to shock us. That's what happens with us, most of us, when it comes to the sense of memory, because we get pissed with Judge Rata. Uyabona namhlanje, he was the cherry on top on everything. Did he just say that sometimes I'm deaf here? So what is he saying about himself? Sometimes I'm deaf here. So if you are sometimes deaf here, what does that mean? The whole time he says, I listen in this courtroom, I listen. What does he mean? I could not understand, guys. I was literally not understanding. And then earlier this day, this is what he did. He was busy lambasting the behavior and professionalism of black lawyers. He said that not a single white advocate would tell the judge he is skipping court because he was doing a sporting activity the day before. Hello, why is that not true? Now Mnisi is being crucified for being honest and telling the truth. He's being crucified for telling the truth. And I was so happy that Umnisi handled that situation with grace, because he was being provoked. He was being Manhandled by silent, if you know what I mean, if you get what I mean. You know when someone is manhandling you and busy poking and poking and poking, trying to get you to be out of character, and Miss was like, I ain't coming. I ain't coming to that party and I'm not going to entertain this. That's what Mnisi decided to do. I'm cooking. Let me go check my pots. I'll be back. Sorry about that. I'm cooking. Thank you, Mzansi, for coming through. I really appreciate you. So, guys, today was just one of those days that you are like, these things are shocking and you just can't. Baloyi, 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 live on television. What a disgrace. What a disgrace, guys. What a disgrace, guys. What a disgrace. I was so shocked. I was so shocked, Shem. I was really, really shocked by his behavior. I know that he behaves like that. Do you know that when you deal with someone whom you know that they are bad for whatever, yet every time they do that one thing, you will always be like, Haibo, did so and so just do that? Haibo, did so and so just do that? That's what's happening in that situation. So it's so sad, guys. Sadly, that's what we are dealing with there. Sadly. Guys, I'm busy today, ne? I'm busy doing some work that I got so that I can make some money. So I'm not really focused, but I was watching the case. I'm gonna do videos. I am so hurt also because now they are bringing. Yeah, but now when it comes to this exhibit S, and this afternoon, what happened this afternoon when Minisi was, he kept on objecting, right? And then,
Hi.
hello, girl, how are you?
It feels so weird being a guest. The screen looks so different. I was
Thank you so
leaving
much.
and I saw you adding a link and I said, let me come support and show you some love. Hi, everyone in the comments. I don't see comments.
Thank
Oh,
you so
yeah. I
much.
have to
Guys,
text you.
that's Mzansi Unfiltered right there for you.
One and only.
Yes. And
Can
they
you still
can hear.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. They can only be the one and only. It's you.
I want to respond
So what was your take on
to.
his
I want to respond verbally, huh? Tabang. I'm moving away from Ramasipili and Ngumalo. They have lost my trust. Listen, they are in the bad boys' corner right now for me. Okay, I'm very, very upset at them. So wait, Nisi closes his entire cross examination where he had uphill battles, where he needed your help, where you needed to row the boat, and you guys kept quiet. Jiggy, jiggy. At the end of the day, you just show up. I could not believe it. I could not believe it that suddenly they're ready to battle. So yeah, for me they're in timeout. Yeah, I can't trust them.
it's so unfair. You see that it's exactly what was happening to Ngomezulu.
Actually today felt like copy paste. Just
Of
change names, everything. And it's like I didn't want to say like Umnisi. It feels like he's put on Gomezulu's shoes and now Baloi, Gininda, the judge, they are coming hard at him. And then at the end, Baloi says, what does he say? Oh, we are officers of the court. We wouldn't lie. There's several examples that we can give you, sir, but it is what it is. So, yeah, the whole day for me left a bad, bad, bad taste in my mouth. And then Jiggy Jiggy, we've got LPC coming to the forefront
Yes,
LPC, where were you last week when you had your Don, what's his name? Samba Shumba Sam. What's his name? Samba?
samba,
Sambo.
samba.
When Sambo was inside the court, where were you, LPC, with an official comment? Zwi. But today you have something to say about the word dumb. So
But
you guys,
wait, were they invited anywhere to come and and talk about that?
who? LPC?
Yes.
Yes, they were invited by the news. Oh, you mean what happened last week?
Yeah, but do you know why I'm
Okay,
asking you that
okay.
question?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yes. Were they invited to discuss that? What
But
was
but
this?
but no, I don't agree with that. They don't need an invitation to
Mm,
respond. They can
okay,
issue out a whole media statement. Because
agreed.
one thing's for sure is they are, as he said himself, Mr. I don't represent the entire association, but he said himself that the decorum aspect. So they sent someone and his integrity was put into question. And not just him, but the entire LPC, because you now have a system that duplicates. Why did they not issue an official statement and say we are distancing ourselves from this duplication? Or yes, there was a duplication. Or guys, leave Mtiago alone. There's so many things they could have done. And they could have done it for free without being invited to the media. They have a Twitter account. They have email. They could have sent out news, what's it called? Newsletters to their, honorable learned friends.
Mm.
But they chose to be silent. So why should they wait to react? I'm not a fan of people who just want to react. Why don't you become proactive and speak upfront? Yeah.
Do you know why I was saying, did they get an invite? I agree with everything that you just said. Do you know why I was saying that? For me, that interview sounded like something of some sort of instigation towards, because there was a question that got me like, because they are asking, are there any complaints about Nisi? Why there should be complaints about Nisi, not Baloy, not the judge, not
Mm.
why should there be complaints about him? Complaints. So for me, it made me it tasted and sounded like it's some sort of instigation to get me into some form of trouble with the public.
Um, I wouldn't say so because of who the interviewer was. But I'm not
Okay.
taking sides and I'm not
Okay.
discrediting what you're saying.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say that because at the end of the day, LPC came and said, "Good job, Mnisi Wemfuya." That they literally like patted his back. Of course, maybe they're gonna pull him aside. I don't know what's gonna happen. But for me, I was happy to hear that conversations are happening in the background. Remember, this is the first time, well, that I've seen where they're confirming something that is happening in court. So one thing we know for sure, they are watching the Senzo Meyiwa trial. They know what they know the Mjiako incident. They're just, waiting and
Perhaps the Saturday meeting will be dealing with that Mjiako and Sambo situation, don't you think? I guess she has some network issue there. But I guess that meeting that he mentioned, the guy that was being interviewed from LPC, I guess that meeting will actually deal with the Giago situation. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I'm just thinking. I wish I could be a fly in the wall and listen to that meeting and hear what are they going to say. And also, I guess we are all spoiled because of Judge Erasmus, guys. So now we can't understand, and we were not understanding even before we saw Judge Erasmus, and we are not understanding even now how Judge Rata is behaving inside the courtroom. It will never make sense. It's not acceptable. We will never
sorry about
accept
that.
it. Yes.
Sorry guys, a call came in and just broke my whole
No, it's fine. We
flow. But
understand.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes,
I
it
I
does.
just think, they could have done better. But I like that they stood in Nice's corner. I love that for me.
Yes. Mm. Anyway, thank you so much for coming through, my colleague. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. Bye everybody. See
Bye
you
bye.
later.
See you.
How do
Bonga
I
Mendo,
get
I'm
out? I
lost
don't know how
there.
to get out. How do you get out of
Must I
this?
remove you?
Yes.
Okay. The interview, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post the interview now when we are done with this. I'm gonna post it on my timeline here on YouTube, then you guys can see it. That's it's something that I guess you guys will enjoy, because for once the person was not against Mnisi. The person spoke very well about decorum, that it needs to be for everybody inside the courtroom. And I was happy with Mnisi not being demotivated, because he stood his ground this afternoon. Quickly, guys, please write there a comment and let me know. Did Mnisi touch on this 105 Ndonton? I don't remember this evidence that Baloyi was referring to about the plea deal situation. Did Mnisi touch on that? What did he say about that? I'm not remembering, guys. What did Mnisi say in the past few days about the plea deal? And also, why is Baloyi making it as if the plea deal situation was brought by Mnisi or any other advocate for that matter? Because that plea deal situation was brought into in the middle of this thing by who's this? By Gininda himself. He's the one who kept referring to it. I remember back then Gomezulu actually dealt with that too, because you know how sneaky Gininda is to try and get things to be read on the record. So I don't know, man. Like, it's a lot. Whew, today was just too much, guys, and I was busy. I was busy a lot. So nje, hi, bekunzima namhlanje, but okay. The reason this is quiet, they are incriminating about the plea deal. No, I think he wants to be sure. He wants to make sure what exactly did he say about it while he was doing his cross-examination. The reason that I'm kind of confused a bit is because I know Judge Rata was going to jump into that situation. The reason I am also a bit is because why doesn't he remember? He would have dealt with that at that time. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next videos and tomorrow on our lives. Otherwise, thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe on the channel. It is what is easy. It's not nice, but okay, sizuthi kunjalo. Crime is happening right through our eyes during the people. Bye bye.